Hair was standing straight up. It was cool. All right. Just a couple tonight because it's late. I should do the dishes. But let's talk movies. We just binge watched, what?
I don't know.
5? 4.
5? I don't know.
3, 4, maybe 3 episodes of The Pit on Max. I don't regret it. It's a good show. Good acting. Hard to binge watch. It's a lot. It all happens in one day. That's kind of the premise of the show. And we've been watching it one show at a time, and then it's kind of like it's a lot to digest. It's a lot of drama. There's a lot going on. Then you watch it all in one sitting. It's a lot. It's just fatiguing. Let's talk movies, because movies begin, middle, and end, and they don't keep you hanging. Man, Frank Darabont's brilliant movie about social groups and hope and terror. Tom Jane and, oh man, Andre Braugher. Is it Lauren Graham? I think, no, Marcia Gay Harden. Marcia Gay Harden. What's up, Frankie? Good to see you, man. Wow. Man, The Mist. This movie, Stephen King book. Stephen King short? Novella. Man, we were so excited for this picture, largely because the creatures in The Mist, Sherry was like, this movie is going to slap. It's going to be terrifying. So good to see you, man. It's been far too long. I think we saw this back in Chicago. It had to be.
Yeah.
And already a fan of Thomas Jane from 61, from Hung. What's up, Jonathan? Good to see you, man. Talking about The Mist. And, Frank Darabont had already done The Green Mile, and he had already done The Shawshank Redemption, so he was kind of like the go-to Stephen King director. And Sherry had said, and she's a mad Stephen King fan, she's like, I'm really curious how he's going to end this film. And we had both read the Dark Tower series, so there's a lot of mid-world things kind of happening, overlapping in the Stephen King universe, but they hadn't released the Dark Tower film yet with Matthew McConaughey and Idris Elba. They didn't really kind of go in the Stephen King world in that kind of space yet. So The Mist was one of the few pictures that kind of implies that creatures from that universe, right? Creatures from that universe kind of bleed in a little bit. But Stephen King even said, I don't have an ending for this book. I'm not happy with the ending of the novella. And Frank Darabont said, I think I have an idea. And he pitched it to Stephen, and he went with it. I don't want to spoil it here, but it's genius. It's so genius and so effective that we often refer to it because it's about the death of hope. And it's so, it's such a perfect, you too, man. Have a great night. It's far too late. But thanks for popping in and saying, hey. One of the things that I really love about the fact with the physical release is that they released 2 versions. A color version that they did theatrically, but then also a high contrast black and white version. There's a couple films that have done that. Mad Max, Fury Road also did a blood and chrome version that's in black and white. But with The Mist, they did it as well, kind of to sort of pay homage to the classic, just those great dark horror films of the 50s and 60s that don't end well. The Mist, spoiler alert, doesn't end well. But boy, what a terrific picture. Really well done. All right. If you haven't seen it, take it in. It's just really well thought through. Next one. This is one of those that came in that Columbia box set. The first one that was with Gandhi and Lawrence of Arabia. And, man, Frank Capra, Jimmy Stewart, God. Claude Rains. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. You know, I mean, what do you say? What, you know, I mean, this movie is so it's when you're in the kind of times and you know, I mean, yeah. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. It's a great movie about optimism and about the battle for optimism, let alone the political stuff. I mean, you can use it as a metaphor for politics 100%, but I think it has broader reaching scope than just Washington. It uses this as metaphor. And in many ways, this is very similar to The Mist in a really sort of unusual way. It goes about it in another way. I mean, here's an optimist who faces a corrupt system, and through his belief in his hope and belief in his core values, in the goodness of people and his fellow Americans, that there is goodness still and it's worth fighting for. And that you, even in the face of tyranny and lies, it's still worth fighting for. I mean, even this picture of Jimmy Stewart on the cover is like, it's that. And again, it's not just about Washington. It's about this business. It's about relationships. It's about family. It's about anything that you feel it's worth fighting for. And I think that's what makes this movie so timeless and shouldn't just be relegated to the political arena. I think that does Capra in a way, and Stewart and the creators of this film, a disservice to simply limit it to, you know, that's context. But the theme is about having hope and optimism. And I think it speaks to The Mist in a really powerful way. Just making that connection now. Okay, there you go. I don't have a lot of animated Disney films, but this is one of my favorites. This one really hit me in the heart. This is Disney's Moana. And I saw this before I went to Australia, before I really got to know many Polynesian people, and my experience of shooting Young Rock in Australia and getting to know so many amazing people from, Tui and Mana and Fosse and Stacy and Anna and Uli and God, and Pamela and Honor and God, all of everybody's families and the community and man, when we were in Gold Coast, Stacey Leilua, who played Dwayne's mom in the show, was like, hey, they're doing a traditional tattooing exhibit where they're tattooing a man on using the traditional Samoan tattooing exhibit. Would you be interested in going to see it? It was, oh my God. And being welcomed into their culture. It was the one white guy there sitting there, and we had to wear lavas and take our shoes off and put our feet under the mat, and I'm married to an African American woman. I've been in spaces where I've been the only white person, and I've been comfortable in spaces like that, or I've grown comfortable in it. And so even in that context, I was like, all right, this is a different culture, but I'm open and all that kind of stuff. And people were like, oh, I bet you have questions, or kind of made fun of the fact that I was like, yeah, I got a question. They're like, yeah, I bet you do. And it was like, yeah, okay, this is new to me, and I'm here, and you've opened your culture up to me, and I respect that, and I want to learn more about it. And it was just an honor to be welcomed in. What's up, Cyrus? Oh man, great to see you on here, man. But all of that happened well after I had seen Moana. I think what resonated so much about Moana to me, was her song in the beginning about feeling like she had a place on her island and she belonged there, but it wasn't what her heart was calling her to go. And I felt that my whole life until I left where I was from. And that movie really resonated. I mean, I was just a mess throughout that film. So that's why I have it on in my collection, and it reminds me to see how high I can jump and how far I can go, and to encourage my daughter as well to be like, you're cut from the same cloth. Go see how far the ocean will take you. That's what this is about. So go explore. So that's why I love Moana. And yeah, so there you go. Okay. Just a couple more. Hey, Dev Patel, come on, man. Monkey Man. I got this on 4K honestly, I have not sat down to watch this. I know people have absolutely loved it. The trailer is so exciting. And I got it used. It's a blind buy. Came out last year. Super excited to sit down and watch it. But in all honesty, we've just been busy, and there's been other things that have gotten in the way. John Wick 4 being one of those things. So Monkey Man is queued up, and we have it there. But people have had such a positive reaction to it. I was like, well, we'll add it to the collection. Got it used. Happy to have it. Okay, next one. Is this worthy of my collection? I think so. The recent Mortal Kombat, the most recent Mortal Kombat movie. I had so much fun. This came out on HBO Max during the pandemic, like 2 months after Snyder Cut, because Snyder Cut was one of the big releases, right? Like they did Operation Popcorn, I think Warner Brothers' entire theatrical slate that year. And that was, what's up, Justin? That Warner Brothers' entire theatrical slate, which was Wonder Woman 84, it was Mortal Kombat, it was Godzilla vs. Kong. There were a couple other pictures that year. That was the pandemic year. But they were just like, we're not going to release anything theatrically. We're just going to try to drive everyone to this app. So Mortal Kombat was one of those movies. And Sherry and Ilsa couldn't be bothered, but I threw this thing on there and I couldn't get over how great it was. Oh, Dungeons and Dragons was another one. I think. No, Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves was not. But this movie, dude, the whole Scorpion Sub-Zero stuff was so good. The music was terrific, and the execution in this movie was so engaging. I thought this reboot of Mortal Kombat was worthy of the name and the execution. Well done. Really, really loved it. Next up is Disney's live action Mulan. Now this is directed by, wasn't it awesome? It was just fantastic, man. That Mortal Kombat, it was so much fun, so much energy. I really did love the animated version of Mulan, but this live action one was so dynamic. The filmmaker is the same director. I'm going to slaughter the name pronunciation. I don't want to, but I believe it's Zhang Yimou, and it's the same director who made Hero. He made, I want to say he made House of Flying Daggers, but I know that he made, and I don't know that it's true, but I know that he made Curse of the Golden Flower. He made The Great Wall with Matt Damon, but he also made Mulan. And he's one of my favorite Chinese directors. He does just big, epic, gorgeous work. And this is one of those films for Disney. Just gorgeous martial arts action, terrific performances, and just, I mean, the wire work and the scale, just spectacular. And quite different from the theatrical, from the animated film. They got rid of Mushu in this, but a little bit more dramatic, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. Okay, I'll just go through M's and then we'll leave it. Man, I had a blast with this one. Kenneth Branagh's Murder on the Orient Express. This was the first of the Hercule Poirot films that he did. Not a mad fan of Death on the Nile, but Murder on the Orient Express is a gas. When we saw the trailer, I thought this was going to be a movie about Kenneth Branagh's mustache. It is not. It is expertly directed. It's really fun to watch this massive ensemble cast navigate this opulent production, and the train set is gorgeous, and it's Willem Dafoe and Johnny Depp, and I think it's Helena Bonham Carter maybe, and is she in it? I don't know. Yeah, you know what? It's a lot of fun. It's a great mystery. Josh Gad is in it, and oh man, it's a cast of thousands, and it's just a great Agatha Christie, whodunit. But what I really love about it is it's lush. Kenneth Branagh is such a, he came up in Shakespeare. He's a Shakespearean type of director. And that is to say, he puts a lot of thought and style and production design into his work. So like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein is very colorful and rich. He did Thor, not the Thor, the Dark World, but the first Thor. So it's just very epic. Epic is the word I'm looking for, more so than Shakespearean. And I feel like Murder on the Orient Express is equally epic. The score is by Patrick Doyle, who's done a ton of his music as well. Like from all going back to Henry V. It's really fun. I know it's streaming, and it's just a great time. And it's one of those movies it's the right movie for a night where there's nothing on. I think it's also like, I put it in that category of movies like The Holdovers, or, I don't know, like I wouldn't say it's necessarily a family movie, but at the same time, it's a fun murder mystery that everyone's trying to figure stuff out, and you can kind of play along together. Clue is one of those movies too. It's a little bit more of a broad comedy, but it's that kind of a thing where no one can really select a movie, but you want to enjoy something together. Throw on the Murder in the Orient Express, and you'll have a great time. All right. 3 more after this one. Okay. This is the one feature. What's up, Dave? Good to see you, man. This is the one feature by this terrific commercial director I worked with. I was the spokesman for Denny's restaurants back in 2010. I was the on-camera spokesman, and the filmmaker who made this film was our director for Denny's. And I did probably 8 spots the first round, and then another 10 spots the second round. They didn't all run. The campaign got canceled in the middle of it, but we had a great time. And I worked with them again on some spots for Time Warner Cable when we moved out here to LA. But the man's name is Kinka Usher, and anything Frankenstein is up my alley. Love to book. Yeah. Amen. Young Frankenstein is one of my favorite pictures. My production company is actually called Werewolf Theirwolf, which is named after Young Frankenstein. Gene Wilder's genius, man. And Frankenstein is, dude. Have you seen the Guillermo del Toro trailer? It looks like a lot of fun. I think it's going to be terrific. If you haven't, check that out after the stream is done. But this film is Bonkers. It's a big swing. This is from the 90s. It's Mystery Men with the late, great Paul Rubens and Ben Stiller and William H. Macy, Janine Garofalo. Greg Kinnear is hilarious. Jeffrey Rush, Eddie Izzard, Tom Waits. God, I think Will Arnett is a small role, or Dane Cook is a small role in this. Like a ton of comedians. It's such a fun. Oh, Hank Azaria. What's her name? Yeah, so many great performances in this movie. It's one of the first kind of like superhero movies, comedies. Yeah, if you haven't seen Mystery Men, you should watch it. It's so dumb and funny, and it's a great time. Ben Stiller kills me in it. He's just Mr. Furious, and his power is just getting really angry. It's a really good time. Kinka directed that, and I think it's the only feature he directed. And he's gone on to do more commercials, but Mystery Men is great fun, and getting to show that to my daughter this past year, she howled at it, and it became a favorite. Anyway, next picture. God, this is a Barry Levinson movie from the mid-'80s. Robert Redford, Glenn Close, Robert Duvall, Wilford Brimley, Michael Madsen, Kim Basinger, Darren McGavin, The Natural. What a picture. Joe Don Baker, who just passed. I never saw this on the big screen. My family would do movie nights on Friday nights. We would rent a video cassette and from this little video store down the street and get pizza and watch a movie. And normally it was whatever tape at the adult unit at Pine Rest Mental Hospital, Pine Rest Christian Hospital, whatever tape they rented, we would get. Dad would just grab that and then return it the following morning. So whatever they rented for the adults, we would watch at home because we didn't want to spend the money. So often it would be like some adult drama. We'd just be watching like Topper or like, that was kind of how we saw like Being There or The Black Stallion, but that was also how we saw The Natural. I agree. Bring back Blockbuster, man. But boy, The Natural is a period drama about a young baseball phenom in the early days of the major leagues who had his big shot in the majors, and on his way to begin his career, he's shot and leaves the game. And 20 years later, as an old man, he comes back to baseball to give it one more shot and ends up succeeding. And he's really dodgy about his past in ways that as a kid I didn't understand, and I don't know that I understand now. And I think watching these days I might put it together a little bit more, being a little bit older. But man, the cinematography in this picture, it looks like, I wonder who shot it. I could look it up, but I mean, it looks like The Untouchables. It has that look about it. And it has one of the great scores by Randy Newman. Yeah, The Natural is something else. It looms large in my mind. Beautiful, beautiful film. This picture is a movie I bought because of the score. Tom Hanks. I believe this is a Ron Howard movie. I believe. Period drama. News of the world. Tom Hanks is like a retired captain in the army, set post Civil War, I think. And he travels around reading newspapers from the East. And he's traveling with some girl who's been kidnapped or something. The music's by James Newton Howard. And it's a gorgeous score. And pretty good film. I remember like really enjoying it. But there you go. I don't know it's one I throw on often, but like in terms of a capable modern Western, it's one of those. All right, last one for tonight. Henry Selick's. I'm glad, man. I'm glad. You'll probably know this one. Henry Selick directed Tim Burton's Halloween/Christmas mashup. This movie is very close to everyone in this family. Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. Danny Elfman, of course, composed the music and performs it with Catherine O'Hara and Paul Rubens and Greg Proops and Chris Sarandon is the voice of Jack, and Catherine O'Hara is Sally. The supplementals are terrific if you're interested in learning about stop motion animation. The visual effects are remarkable. But, this was one of Sherry's all-time favorite movies. And when we first started dating, oh, yeah. I mean, I had this on VHS and then Laserdisc and then DVD and then Blu-ray and now 4K and 3D, Blu-ray 3D. I've had so many versions of this picture and we still throw it on. In fact, it was part of our bedtime routine for the baby and now the grown-up. So what's really cool about this film is they don't do it every year, and it's been a minute since Danny's done this, but one of the first times, oh God, this had to be 8 or 9 years ago at the Hollywood Bowl. Danny did a live performance with the LA Phil of this film. So the movie was being projected and the LA Phil was on stage and they played it live. So the orchestra was playing and they were singing it. Ken Parks came out and sang Oogie Boogie, and Danny Elfman sang his parts, and Catherine O'Hara came out and sang her parts, and it was Danny and Catherine and Paul, and they all performed Lock, Shock, and Barrel together, and it was remarkable. And that was the first year they did it, and after the show was done, we're standing there at the Hollywood Bowl, and they're done with the credits, and Danny comes out for the encore. He's taken off his Jack Skellington striped suit, and he's just wearing a black T-shirt, and he comes out with his guitar, and he goes, I swore I would never do this again, but I'm going to do this. And the last time I played this song was 20 years ago on Halloween, and it was Halloween night, and he played Dead Man's Party with Steve Bartek from Oingo Boingo, and it was my daughter's first rock concert was Oingo Boingo, reunion. And man, the place went up for grabs. It was unbelievable. And thus began my daughter's love affair with Oingo Boingo. And now we've got Oingo Boingo albums all over the place. We've seen Danny Elfman perform multiple Oingo Boingo numbers. My kid will walk around singing Only a Lad and Insanity and all this other stuff. So this movie was a gateway to a whole genre of ska and alternative freak rock. It's been awesome. And when we were shooting Young Rock this past, our third season, we were shooting in Memphis. And it was a blast, man. And when we were shooting in Memphis, we were staying at the Peabody Hotel. And Whose Line Is It Anyway was doing a live performance at the theater there, the big theater in Memphis. And Greg Proops happened to come on the elevator with me. And there was a crowd of people in the elevator as well. And he towers above everybody, and people were all in the elevator and we're going up, and I was like on the 10th floor. And everyone's chit-chatting, and he's like, oh, yeah, we were doing this and that, and talking about the show. And there was a lull, and then I said, by the way, Greg, I was like, we never miss the Nightmare on Elm Street, Nightmare Before Christmas live at the Hollywood Bowl. We love it. We go every time you perform. And he looked at me, and he put his fist up and fist bumped me, and he was like, man, he was like, there is no greater show on the planet. He's like, it's the greatest honor of my life. I'm so glad that you get to witness that. And I was like, man, we never miss it. He was like, thanks for mentioning that. That means the world to me. And then that was my stop, and I got off and never saw him again. But yeah, so those are our movies. I'm saving it. I'm saving it. Oh, there's so many good ones coming up. I'm saving those for later. Total Dear Diary moment, 100%. All right, well, Justin, thanks for joining me tonight. Thanks for everyone who popped in. A couple more movies on your consideration list. More to come in a couple days. Tomorrow night, who knows? Peace. Physical media forever. I'm going to go pass out. Later.